The first products that you sell on Amazon can make all the difference for your success. If you start out sourcing and selling the wrong products on Amazon, you can end up losing thousands of dollars and throwing in the towel way too early. But if you sell the right products on Amazon as a beginner, it's going to make the whole process a lot simpler. So in this video, I'm going to show you 3 products that are great for beginner Amazon sellers and how to specifically source each type of product. So by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to sell and you'll know how to go find new winning products for yourself as soon as possible. So let's start out with category number 1. It's a great place for beginner Amazon sellers to start with things like simple grocery items. So the reason why grocery is a pretty solid place for beginners is when you buy items like this, for example, that sells for $7.50 at the brand's website, and on Amazon this actually sells for $19. And as a beginner Amazon seller, when you do make sales on items like this, especially in the grocery category, sometimes also vitamins and supplements, I might even lump those together a little bit, there's no returns allowed. So if you're a beginner Amazon seller and you're worried about all the little costs that can add up, which I think is a great thought process, there's no worry of returns expenses involved in selling most grocery products and even most supplements, stuff like that, right? So this is just one quick example, and obviously it's not the fastest selling product in the world. I don't like showing products that make thousands of dollars just as examples because resellers are out here feeding the family on those, but we can use this quick example to show you how I find a ton more winning grocery items as well, simply based on the fact that this seller right here, this seller here, these sellers all have successfully sourced this product profitably. We know that they have other products in their store that they have to have sourced from other profitable websites, right? So the lowest hanging fruit of selling on Amazon is number 1, selling products that already sell, and number 2, selling products that somebody else already did the research to find profitably, right? So you can see on this person's storefront all the different categories that they carry. A big thing I want you to remember as I'm jumping into all of these example products that are good for beginners, keep in mind that pretty much anything on Amazon can be profitable. I just have a couple preferences for beginner Amazon sellers. And the other thing is, if you, let's say, are really into toys and games, you got a D&D campaign going, you got kids at home, something like that, that gives you a little bit more insight into a specific category, I think that's a great idea to start with that, because you're going to know what websites run really good sales, what brands are really profitable, that kind of thing. But for this example, let's just keep zeroing in and saying, all right, this seller, they are successful at sourcing grocery products. At least in this case, they have 10 grocery products. And now all we need to do is figure out if this item is profitable from other name brand websites, right? The easiest way to do that is using SellerAmp here. So make sure you have SellerAmp for sourcing your first products to sell. And in this case, I'm gonna be able to Google the title. That's gonna punch it into Google for me. And I can see a lot of these are around $4 to $5 or so. Right here, I see my max cost on this item. So if I can buy this for $3 or less, then I'm going to make my ideal profit. We can check this out real quick. It doesn't seem like we're going to be able to make too much profit, although we are going to be able to get another 20% off with an email code here. And we can actually use this oral health 20. So a lot of times the email codes don't stack with other coupon codes that are going on. I don't think it would matter if it did here, because yeah, we're buying this for $5.19. We get 20% off. So we make $1, but that's not really enough profit for me, at least, to be worth picking up an item, putting it in a box, shipping it off to Amazon, that kind of thing. We want to look for a little bit more profit than that. So let's keep on chugging here. So this is like a 6-pack of cookies. I'd be surprised if we can get this, just thinking logically, like about $2 a box for, seems like a more natural version of Oreo, something like that. Yeah, so those are about $5 a box. Let's see, we've got some breadcrumbs. Like I said, I'll sell pretty much anything under the sun as long as it's profitable. I've sold some really weird stuff, so I don't exactly know what's going on here. It does actually look like these are sold by third-party sellers. So another quick note is be careful if you're buying directly from third-party sellers. What I wonder here is if they're buying directly from the brand. And let's see, shop. Okay, cool. So this is just like a website. They're telling you to go buy it in stores, basically. So this is interesting because basically it's out of stock on most websites right now. So it seems like it's probably like an in-demand thing. So I'd be curious to know what Walmart's normal price is there. My suspicion is that it's probably profitable, but not much to go off of right there. Let's see, like Sunny Paris seasoning. So we knew that they already had some profitable seasonings from this company. So we could see if any of these other ones are good here. Let's see, a 0.6 ounces. 0.6 ounce is $14, and our max cost here is $13.48. So we definitely want to check that out. It's probably going to be really close to profitable, and we can decide if it's worth the shot here. Yeah, so the buy box is at $26.37 with shipping, basically. So if we're going to sell this as an FBA seller, that's what our price is going to be, $26.37, and we're buying this for $13.95. So it is $3.50 profit in the grocery category when there's no returns. I don't mind buying a 25% ROI product. One thing that worries me a little bit is the brand already sells on this item, although it does seem like there are plenty of other third-party sellers, and you can even see in the buy box pie chart here, you can see all these other small third-party sellers having success making sales here. So that is interesting. I might honestly place a little bit of a test order on that personally, but let's see if we can find something a little bit better. Let's see, we got like sandwich here. I'm just gonna check this one because it's a little bit more expensive. We can buy that for $10.92, then we're making some money. And yeah, so this one looks like it's a better example, right? So we're buying this for $10.79. We need to buy this for $10.92, so we are well within that profitable range there. And let's see, checking out the buy box chart, Yeah, so this is selling for 22.65. We're buying that for 10.79. Yeah, 10.79 right there. So that one's great ROI, great profit, that kind of thing. So with the grocery category, honestly, usually the best place to specifically find more leads is just going off of, like we did here, when you find one specific example, and you don't even have to have a profitable product in mind. You could go off of any of the products that we're looking at right now. These are all going to have third-party sellers who have other smart ideas for product sourcing. Another great idea to find other grocery leads is to look at retail store brands of like grocery products. So an example I go back to is like Great Value products. You know that Great Value, they have to be buying this from Walmart. No one's buying Great Value stuff wholesale. And we know that the people on this listing are also going to be carrying some other grocery leads. So like, just for example, you can see, yeah, this person's very new to Amazon. They have 6 products and all of them are grocery. And those could all be like potential products for you to look into basically. So with grocery, utilize that reverse sourcing method. And that brings me to category number 2, another great category for beginner sellers, which is the beauty brands. The reason why beauty can be really good, now we do have returns allowed on beauty products, so you don't have that kind of beginner safety net like we do with grocery, but you are going to start seeing brands that are sold on lots of different websites and they have to compete on pricing with each other basically. So the more websites that sell the same exact premium beauty brands and that kind of thing that you can go out and get approved to sell on Amazon, those are going to create opportunities for you when they're having to compete, having to run sales against each other. And we can even use these existing product ideas that these sellers have to go out and find some new products of our own. So same kind of theory here, except now we can just do it for the beauty category, right? So this is pretty much how I like to source the vast majority of my favorite products to sell on Amazon. And again, we're just going to go through here and say, can I buy that for $2? My initial Google showed like about $10 for that. On a lot of these, I just skim through the ones where I think I might be able to buy it for that price, might be a little bit more realistic. So this is $17. We needed that for $9, and you'll get really quick at flying through a lot of these. The key is just understanding which websites you can create some coupons and extra discounts and that kind of stuff for. So for example, this might be an example, right? Because we can get buy one, get one 50% off, and we can get an extra 20% off, and you should be able to stack that there. I've definitely taken advantage of that before. So let's just do some quick math and see if, plus we also have a bunch of different colors here, see if any of these different colors are profitable. $18, and we get a 25% discount, and that 25% is going to come from the buy one, get one 50% off. And then we also get an additional 20% off with our coupon. So we're paying $10.80 for these right here. So this particular color is not profitable, at least right now, but that's where we can check the variations and see if any of the other colors on this listing are. So I can go to variations on Keepa and SellerAmp together. That's all you need to do product research. Keep it nice and simple. Keep your overhead as low as possible when you're starting. I can see brown and ivory. This calico one is also going up in price, but you can see like more realistically, it's $18 pretty often. So I like to buy things that are consistently profitable, not just like a flash in the pan. So this is a little bit more interesting. You can see that price has been up at $23 for a while, and yeah, that would be profitable here. Yeah, so this ivory one here is interesting. Let's see, it's called, so they're calling it Cool Ivory in the text there. Let's just make sure we do have that. And yeah, Cool Ivory right there. Perfect. Yeah, so we can pick some of those up. And the other thing to think about is once you have a beauty product or any product that is actually profitable, that's always going to be a better jumping off point to find more leads. So I just pulled up this example product because I saw that it had a lot of third-party sellers. It seems very reseller heavy. So all those resellers are going to have different ideas. But now that we have an actual profitable product, typically I'm going to have a lot more success checking out and saying, hey, this person has 164 feedback. So they've been on Amazon for a while. They've definitely made some good money, but they're not like huge. They're not buying from companies that we can't compete with basically. Yeah, in this example, I can see they're buying a ton of Victoria's Secret. So we could even just repeat the exact same thing. Let's see. The first one we checked is profitable. If this is on sale right now, yeah, $30 for this right here. Make sure it's 1.7 ounces. Okay, so that's another thing to watch out for. On this listing, 3.4 ounces. Just always make sure you're actually looking at the same products basically, because I do see this is 1.7. We have to skip that one, unfortunately. Let's see, some kind of like travel set. A lot of times these like multi-packs and gift sets and that kind of stuff can be really good. Let's see, 12-piece mist. And it seems like that might be this, or is this only the 4-piece? This could be like a Christmas product if I had to guess. Well, mist, maybe something like that. Plug it in right there. But yeah, I bet they picked this up on like a Christmas sale if I had to guess. That looks like a Christmas type product that was probably popular. We can see like some body lotion. Anything under the sun can be profitable. Don't limit yourself. Let's see. So those are like $11 a bottle, and we need them for $5.80. So nothing too crazy there. And another thing to keep in mind as you're looking through some of these products here is don't ignore, like we were talking about with all the sales and coupons and that kind of stuff, that creates a lot of opportunity. So as you're looking through storefronts, you're going to start seeing a lot of new brands pop up, maybe even brands you've heard of before. For example, I've never heard of this Bliss brand. I'm not sure what's going on there. Let's see. This is like a supplement brand of some kind. So usually I'm just going to look at a brand that I know pretty well. I know sells really well on Amazon, something like Fenty, something like that. You could look at Rare Beauty, just a lot of the really popular companies. And this is actually a decent example today because I can see, usually I'm just doing a quick search on on that company and seeing if there's like some coupons going on, that kind of thing. And it does seem like a lot of these are like actually half off today. So I'm going to open up the Kohl's listings, open up some of these listings here. Typically this is more like manual sourcing, and it's not going to be the best way to find new products, especially because you already need to know like a brand that you're interested in selling on Amazon and then go out and find that basically. But what we can do is we can go to the listing, and then you saw I hit the SellerAmp Chrome extension, and that's going to automatically pull in that title. And so in this case, I can see, hey, this is actually already on Amazon. It sells for 25 bucks. I need to buy it for 12, and it sells 17 times a month. Not an incredible example there. Let's see, like this one right here. But when we have really good sales like this, I'm always interested in digging a little bit deeper. So this one actually seems somewhat interesting. It also looks like a lot of these are maybe split across different listings too. So you can see this one has several different colors and stuff on it. This one I think is just the 230, and that's interesting to see because it seems like that just the 230 alone sells 50 times a month, and it is below that max cost that we need. So that one could be very interesting. Let's see, selling pretty consistently, lots of third-party sellers having success. You can see that down there on the Keep It chart. I can also see on the buy box pie chart on SellerAmp, I see lots of small to big sellers making sales. You can see 11 feedback, 40 feedback, 8 feedback. So these are all sellers that have the exact same opportunities available that you do. And you can see you can buy this for 20 bucks right now from Kohl's and sell it for 39. That makes you $8 in profit. Another thing we can do is just always make sure you're maximizing profit. So I can actually go to Card Bear and I can just search up Kohl's, and then I'm just going to check out the highest two rates, because what this is going to show me is the websites where I can go in and buy a discounted gift card. So in this case, it seems like the 12% discount is coming from a $10 gift card. I'm not super thrilled about that. Let's see. Those are smaller. Let's see. I want to check out GCX. I buy a lot of gift cards from this company. And yeah, so on this, you can see those are a little bit better. Discount high to low. This is $50 gift cards, and you can pay basically a 6% to 7% discount to buy that discounted money. So what we can do is we can go in here, and instead of using our credit card, we'll use that discounted gift card that gets emailed to us immediately. And then that way I can do $20 minus that 6% discount, which basically saves me $1.20 per unit, and it just boosts my profits. Coupon sales, discounted gift cards. So here's another example of just like a quick winning beauty product. And while you're on the trail of some existing profitable items, you can do the exact same thing on this and say, hey, what's the most expensive variation on this listing? Seems like it is, yeah, it is the beige here, but we are buying this for $18.80 after the discounted gift card. That's 0.5% short of the ROI that I usually like to look for. This would be something I would buy if I'm not low on capital. You'll go through periods in your business where sometimes you're low on leads and sometimes you're low on capital. So if you're low on capital, you just get pickier about what you buy. And if you're in a point where you're just trying to buy stuff that's profitable, I'd probably pick this one up here. But now you can see some examples of the beauty category, how to source some of those beauty products. And that takes me onto the last category that I see being really consistent for beginners. And this is probably the most risky of the categories I'm going to show you, but it's where there's a lot of opportunity laying, and it's in things like clothing, right? So here's an example of a top, right? It's like a compression, shoulder support, that kind of thing. And you can see you can buy this from the HSN website, and you're going to buy this with a 15% coupon code, where every time you refresh the page, it's going to give you one of these boxes right here. And you can use this infinitely. So if your name is sarah@gmail.com, all you need to do is add a plus and then whatever you want. So whatever's before the plus, that's where the email is actually going to send. Whatever is here, that's what the website thinks your email address is. So as long as this is unique, it's going to make a new coupon code and send it to whatever's before the plus. In this case, that's sarah@gmail.com. So we're able to get 15% off the $50 sticker price and sell this for 83 bucks, buying it for 42. So there's another just like quick example of a clothing item. And the reason why clothing can be really beneficial is when you go to the variations, similar to some of the beauty stuff we were just finding, you notice how you're going to see a lot of other products that are very similar that also are at profitable price points. So like the black is at $88. That's a profitable price point. We know it's profitable because it's profitable at 83. Here's another one at 89 that's also profitable. So you're finding a lot of opportunities that are available just based on the fact that we found one. There's going to be other sizes and other colors that are usually profitable as well. So let's go ahead and just pop open some of these storefronts here. And again, this is how I find basically the vast majority of products, and it's the best way to source as a beginner, just because you don't have to go through any guesswork of what sells and what doesn't and all that good stuff. Let's see, like this person right here, they have 300 feedback. They've definitely sold a couple $1 million on Amazon at least. And you can see right here, they have 59 clothing items that they are currently making money on. So a few of these, they're selling a few more of these like compression tops. Let's see, they're selling like some Wrangler jeans. These are 60 bucks on Amazon. And I'm pretty sure this is like the discount version. So let's see, like cowboy jeans. What size are these? These are 44, 32, and they are gray. So let's just go ahead and check and see if we can find that. And a lot of times with clothing, you can just put the color in quotation marks and then search it that way. It makes it a little bit easier to find. Let's see. Anthracite. Yeah, zooming on in here. Okay, I see gray right here. Wranglers. Let's make sure that's the same color gray. Yeah, that seems like the same color. Let's see. View. Okay, so they don't even have that size. Maybe it's like a hard to come by size or something like that. I bet we could find that, but I just think we can probably find something a little bit simpler, a little bit quicker. See, there's some boots of some kind. These are sorrel right there. We need to buy these for 42 bucks. And this is essentially from the brand website right there. Seems like a lot of these are coming up a lot more than that. It could be another specific style that they've discontinued. You've got like some Dansko here. Those are a little bit more expensive as well. Usually when I'm looking through storefronts, I check the first couple items, and if I don't find too much success, I'll usually go on to the next thing. Usually I'll check 5 to 10 items, and especially if I can't end up on a website that's running a sale, then I want to jump onto the next thing, where like in this case I can see this is just like a regular t-shirt, and as long as I can buy it for 26 bucks, I'm making profit. And this might be a great example, right? This is selling for $17.80. Fandango Pink, or whatever they're calling it. Yeah, Fandango Pink. This is the size small, which is also in stock. Buying it for $17.80, and we are selling this for 47 bucks. So yeah, that's gonna be a pretty good ROI. So let's just plug this in, and you'll see here's another example of a winning clothing item, right? So $17.80. Probably also get some extra discount through a gift card, but I'm not even gonna worry about counting that here. So another 10 bucks profit on all these items. By the way, usually the best practice is to buy 5 or 10 units as a test order, send those into Amazon as soon as possible. You'll use a software called Boxum that makes it as simple as possible and as fast as possible to ship products to Amazon. Yeah, and I also just noticed that was showing my price at 40 bucks. We're actually selling this at 47. So yeah, that's basically almost 100% ROI. So that's a really good example of a profitable product here. And by the way, just because I hear it all the time, I think one of the most common excuses for not being able to sell products like this is, oh, I'm gated, I can't get ungated, that kind of thing. Let's say you want to sell Tommy Hilfiger brand on Amazon. All you need to do is make sure you buy at least 10 products from the website. It can be multiple different invoices. It just needs to be 10 items in the brand that you want to sell. You go into Amazon Seller Central, you add the product, and you'll just submit the invoice there. If you want to see a full video on ungating, you can check that out after you watch this video. I go through the entire process with you, just because I know that was something that held me back. I didn't know you could get ungated to sell name brands for like a year as a beginner Amazon seller, and one of my friends showed me how to do it. So now I try to show as many people as possible for free, because there's still a ton of people charging like thousands of bucks for that. But with those examples, there's 3 great starting points for you as a beginner Amazon seller. If you found this video helpful and you're ready to get started as an Amazon seller, make sure you grab 2-week free trials of SellerAmp and Boxum. Those are the tools that you need to source all your profitable inventory and then ship it all off and track those profits. And before you leave, if you have any questions, feel free to drop those down below in the comment section. Always happy to help you guys out. And if you want to help me out for free, hit that subscribe button. Help me get a shiny little YouTube plaque sitting behind me. But I really appreciate you watching this video. And if you want to see the next step of the process after you've sourced products, which is shipping them into Amazon and making the actual sale as soon as possible, click this video right here.